People fail to grasp how insidious Islam is on the world stage. For instance, they say the greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world he didn't exist. Well, Satanism doesn't exist, but it's actually a brand name for Islamic holy war. Catholics seek the root of corruption and make it holy. But when you have a cult protecting what amounts to a conventional foreign attack from the scrutinizing eye of the church, they just call it something other than Islam, right? It's just taqiyya under a different name. Islam thinks they can call you wicked behind your back and then claim you when you can no longer speak to it, as if you were fighting us on their behalf your whole life, which casts doubt upon the veracity of real estate, the institution as a whole. Then the argument is that you're either a slave of the prophet or the infidel. They claim the entire world already because Islam respects no church and state, no separation of church and state. And a real religion has separation church and state since Socrates, otherwise we wouldn't have a word for it. They just don't know what a real religion is. Islam is the religion of God. Apotheosis is heresy in any religion. Therefore, Islam is heresy. It's technically not even an anti-religion. For instance, raping little boys in surgery and calling them liars until they shoot up a school since Vietnam. Raping their way into Hollywood through Make-A-Wish, stealing wishes from little cancer kids. And then all of us see things on TV. We hear music, we sing music that we like, and then they hold it against us as if that were our testimony, as if we were negotiating with our new owners. And then you say, well, no, I saw that on such whatever, and they hold it against the celebrities. Well, the celebrities are supposed to be protected by customs of the stage, the same as any bench, right? If your coach goes missing, we have to first, I shall do no harm. I shall guard my charge from injustice. The two concepts are not independent of one another. A real doctor is obligated. A real doctor is compelled. We can be Christians about this, or I just can't control myself. It's a very definite, real mechanism. First, do no harm, or I do what I want. Socrates was accused of impiety and corrupting the youth, right? Not like breaking into people's houses and spying on them, and because this is my sanctuary. This isn't a house of God or anything. You're not here to learn from me. You just got faggots raping little boys and following them around looking for excuses, trying to build a global industry on first do no harm or I gets punchy. So the dumbest fucked up fake religion the world has ever known is over there acting like they won, which is basically the whole pretense to begin with. They just need stupid enough cultists on this side to go along with it, which is where Roe v. Wade comes in. Roe v. Wade canceled the Hippocratic Oath, which is 3,000 years of prestige. The authority of a doctor is the cornerstone of all diplomatic, lawful, ethical, classical, legally binding authority, so to put us on even ground with humanity's closest natural enemies. I don't think our doctors were ready for that. We're not at war. We're just raping our way into the national treasury through the White House nursery. It's not a war. You can't tell the FBI they're not allowed to follow the money. It is not within the scope of human authority to ban waterboarding, Exodus 32:20, without a formal declaration of war. They canceled waterboarding so they could revert to psychological coercion, while the runaways and school shootings, you want to do this on the web? Okay, I'm not a hacker, but might I suggest you just remove, well, first I would say, God, no religion ever, no God would ever bless two men with new life ex nihilo. Okay, so it's not a religion. There's no gay country. But, if you have command over these networks, you can systematically eliminate suspects. We're just not represented. Just take France out of the equation, see what happens. Run simulation. They're using foreign protection behind medical privacy. Well, first, do no harm. You're not a doctor to begin with. Otherwise, your ambassadors come here, they convene with our ambassadors do the dirty work. You don't come over here and do our goddamn dirty work for us like we're too stupid to be trusted with our own deficit. But, it's not stupid to enter such an agreement with you to begin with. So is it France or is it Libyan occupied France. They got Reagan and John Paul II both shot so they could flood our streets with dope and force the Christians to fight our way out with nothing but snake oil and rainbows. France, you think? So these faggots used the United Nations as a global stage to do like what the Vatican was supposed to do, but not within this, there's supposed to be a universal Catholic Church, not a universal abomination on the Catholic Church's authority, leaving the humans to pick up the pieces. The Protestant Church would not exist were it not for the First and Second Reich, which were justifiable responses to abnormal stimuli. Now, say, for sake of argument, there was no Protestant church, we're all Catholic because we like indoor plumbing, roads, police, laws even. Why does Islam exist in the first place? Beloved Roma, beloved Jerusalem, the Teutonic Knights want to join the Templars. I can't possibly rape all these Protestants by myself. The heart is willing, but the flesh is weak. And now there's less opportunity for stupid heretics to insinuate themselves. Can't make any promises, but I expect you to call me a doctor anyway.